Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative News Update. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Today, I'm highlighting news from right here in Trinidad and Tobago. CEPEP employees in Tobago are requesting salary increases and clearer guidance from local authorities as their roles shift from public space maintenance, which is basically very basic, normal type of work to do, laborer work to do, to agricultural labor, which is much more complicated. Following the June budget announcement by Finance Secretary Petelan Roberts, the management of CEPEP was officially transferred to the Tobago House of Assembly's Food Division of Food Security. Despite the mandate, field employees interviewed across Lambo and Signal Hill raised major concerns regarding their compensation, working conditions, and physical readiness. Workers argue that farming involves significantly more physical labor than park maintenance. Exactly. It's much more complicated. And most likely the hours will be longer as well, justifying an upward revision of their wages. I remember saying it. I'm telling you, when this was first reported, I think about a month ago, I said, do you remember the days of slavery or something to that extent? I said that sounds like modern day slavery to me. Because at the end of the day, you're going to take people that were working as laborers, maintenance workers, and give them much harder, much more complicated work to do with longer hours with the same salary. That's ridiculous. Furthermore, many employees reported feeling abandoned in the transition, noting that the THA failed to brief them directly about the shift in operations or address their logistical questions. A key issue highlighted by senior staff is the demographic makeup of the current CEPEP workforce. Workers emphasize that a substantial portion of the staff comprises middle-aged and elderly. We all know that. Elderly individuals as well as individuals with pre-existing health conditions. How you expect them to go and work on a farm, Fali? Or past surgeries who cannot endure prolonged bending and strenuous manual labor. Not to mention when it's time for spraying and stuff like that, a lot of chemicals you have to be, you're supposed to be guarding your face and so forth, but still, it's dangerous work, people. I'm talking about the spraying. A staff suggested that the THA recruit younger individuals, specifically for agricultural production, and individuals that are trained or will be trained, while permitting older personnel to maintain their traditional roles, caring for public parks and assisting community members. Yes, because who's going to continue to maintain these areas? FRLE, employees also cited a lack of formal agricultural instruction. You put them on a farm to work and they don't know what to do, how to perform their duties. While some crews already cultivate small crops of herbs and seasonings, workers stressed that large-scale farming requires structured training on crop types. Exactly. Chemical handling and pest control. I raised these issues when I heard Fali come up with this plan. I said, what the kind of utter nonsense is this? It is a great idea, but you have to put things in place in order to be able to carry out this new mission that you have. And you have to ensure that you pay people with a much better salary. You cannot allocate the same amount of funds and then come and tell people, we are transitioning you into a new job, into a new role in your job, actually. Right? We are transitioning you, but we have the same budget. So I asked the question back then, are they going to fire a lot of people, or are they going to, actually, just like what people are concerned about here, are they going to continue to pay people the same CEPEP salaries for jobs now that are much more complicated? And as I said before, maybe longer hours as well. Fali, you disappoint me with this one, you know. You disappoint me real bad. Because you have been doing quite well in Tobago. And it seems as though you don't care if you lose the next election either. What's going on with you, Fali? I hope Ground Report goes behind you. But then, of course, Ground Report right now ain't really going behind anybody because PNM out of office. Staff members recommended that the division assesses individual physical capacities and preferences, assigning suitable roles such as spraying or lighter maintenance rather than placing all workers into heavy farm duty without preparation. That does not matter. It does not matter. The salaries that you pay people for normal maintenance work at the side of the road, whether it's cutting grass or what, isn't sufficient for working on a farm. What is taking place here is wrong. It is wrong. The transition has drawn stern warnings from both government officials and political opponents. Secretary of Security, Wayne Wasp Clark, cautioned that workers who choose not to adapt to the agricultural mandate will need to find employment elsewhere. Well, that's like a rowdy kind of statement, so boy. In response, People's National Movement, PNM, Tobago Council leader Shamfa Kujo Lewis, nobody lives there, but all of a sudden she cares, accused the administration of using the shift to gradually terminate workers who cannot meet the new physical demands. I feel that's the plan. She's right about this, though. She's right about this. Kujo Lewis urged the THA to conduct proper physical and academic assessments to retrain and place workers into positions suited to their skills rather than forcing them out. And besides that, you have to pay whoever it is you want to hire in the future, any of your ticket, you're going to have to pay them a much better salary, Farley. And I'm telling you, I feel the workforce is going to be smaller. But then who's going to maintain the roadways and so forth, the drains and so forth in Tobago from now on? Efforts to reach Secretary Clark for further comments on the workers' grievances were unsuccessful. I can't believe Farley did this, you know. Can't believe that. But then, of course, I was saddened by a lot of the decisions made by the Kamala Prasad administration within this past year. So you know what? Politicians, boy. Politicians, they always forget where they came from. They always forget the promises that they made to people. And they end up just doing as they please. It's sad. It's really sad.
Weather report for Trinidad and Tobago on Thursday, August 27, 2026. On Thursday, August 27, 2026, Trinidad and Tobago will experience variably cloudy conditions with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. The day will start out mostly calm and partly cloudy, but atmospheric instability will bring a 35% to 45% chance of afternoon thunderstorms. Temperatures will peak at a hot 32 degrees Celsius 90 degrees Fahrenheit, with high humidity making it feel closer to 32 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius during the midday heat. Skies are expected to clear up by the late evening, leading to a calm night. Heavy downpours may trigger localized street or flash flooding in low-lying areas, and gusty winds can occur near thundery patches. Be sure to keep an eye on updates from the Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service. The UV index will reach a high of 7 around midday. Sun protection is highly recommended if you plan to be outdoors between 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. East winds will remain steady at around 8 to 10 miles per hour, though stronger gusts are possible near localized storm cells.
Jesus healed Peter's feverish mother-in-law, then restored many sick and demon-possessed people with a word, fulfilling Isaiah's prophecy. He took up our infirmities.
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news update. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.